Hi, my name is Collin Turk, and today I would like to talk to you about a business idea I had for a store that will sell only American-made product called Uncle Sam's Mart. Uncle Sam's Mart will revolutionize the way product is transported from one place to another. The logistics system behind Uncle Sam's Mart will be completely autonomous, and once built, will operate with no employee intervention. The way the structure will be built will be by utilizing technologies which are just now entering the marketplace. Some of these technologies include the self-driving technology of Google, the electric cars being manufactured by Tesla, the electric and autonomous semis being made by Daimler, the robotic arms and hands that are being made by Barrett Technologies, as well as the small modular nuclear reactors, which are being designed currently by Westinghouse, as well as radio frequency emitting diodes, which can essentially track product in a way that doesn't use the conventional scanner. Now, the way these technologies would incorporate into the same business function would be the same way that individual components of a machine work together. Each one would have its own function that ultimately cuts out a lot of the inefficiencies of the way we currently manage logistics in America. Right now, there are inefficiencies in that a product can travel from one location hundreds of miles away to be sorted to determine which location it then needs to be sent to be sorted again, to go back to what may be the original location to then be sent to its final destination, which could be only a couple of miles away from where it was originally sitting. These inefficiencies come from the way FedEx and UPS manage the sorting of their product. Every single product that is given to UPS or FedEx to ship is sent to one big central sorting location. And every single package, no matter how far it is from its final destination, has to go to that one place first. And that adds unnecessary time with the tracking technology that we have available to us now. If we were to put radio frequency emitting diodes inside of pallets that had the ability to essentially operate as little robotic carts with robotic wheels and electric motors and a battery with infrared technology that could then follow reflective tape on the ground, it could pass through gates and determine where it needs to go and drive itself. You could have pallets with product on them that drive onto the back of a truck that then autonomously would drive to its next location, and the pallets would drive off the back of the truck, go through a sensing gate where the RFID technology would then tell the system what it is, and the system would then tell it where it needs to go. That pallet would then drive to its department to either be broken down by these Barrett technology robotic arms, or drive onto the back of another truck to then be transported to a different location. Because these trucks are electric, they can charge while they're in their sorting facilities. But you can use each individual location as not only a potential warehouse for storing product closer to your final destination, but also can serve as a recharging and sorting facility. Because you incorporate all of the individual functions into the nodular system, you can then have an advantage that current logistics providers just don't have. Once you pay off this system, it works completely without employees. It may take a decade or two to pay off the system, but it will have a lifetime of several decades. And with no costs and energy surplus being generated by solar panels that are placed on the roofs of these individual sorting facilities, and modular nuclear reactors, which operate out of the bigger facilities that are near areas that have large energy demands, you would be able to not only transport product on an entirely electric system, but you could do it quicker than any other company could do it, while providing electricity to the customers as well, or selling it back to the grid to be able to make the money it takes to operate the system from the electricity demands, and then you have zero cost for transporting product after you've reached the payback period. Now, this business would also operate different in that customers would not pick up a packaged product off a shelf, put it in a cart, pay for it, and then take it and put it in their car. Uncle Sam's Mart would combine the benefits of the online shopping cart experience, and then would combine that with also the Walmart sort of walk in and see the product sort of business structure. The brick and mortar and online stores would be combined in a way that would revolutionize the way people interact with and then purchase product. The individual stores that people would be able to go into would be attached to one of these nodular sorting warehouses that operate as a node in the logistics system, so that all of the product sits on shelves and is not readily accessible to the customer. What the customer sees is a smaller store that has a larger number of products in it, because each individual product is a display, so that customers could interact with the products similar to the way that they would in an Apple store. They could use a little hand scanner and scan these display products, and then be able to look up information on them and look at reviews or videos of them being used. And you could also look for coupons and things like that, and then purchase it right there in the store on your phone, and it would send that information to the robots behind the scene, which would then put that order together and then assign you a number, and it would then go to a specific parking spot to load your car with the products you purchased in the store without you ever having to pick up a product. Now, this also gives you the ability to shop online before you go to the store, and then just go to the store to pick up your products. With that, you could purchase your entire shopping list and then just go have it loaded into the back of your car within minutes, and not actually have to go through all of the individual aisles and pick each individual product. This would completely change the way we view purchasing products, because it cuts out certain things we've just grown to accept are the way things are done. You would not need a cashier in this type of place, because each individual product doesn't have to be scanned before it goes out the door. When you are scanning these products and adding them to your cart, you are managing all of that scanning and building of the total behind the scenes, so that when you hit done, it has your order total, and you can hit purchase, and you can purchase either on a prepaid card or account that's managed through the application that's on your phone, or you can pay by card at the front or cash, in which you would then get a ticket rather than your product. So this also cuts out the ability for people to steal from the stores and mess up your inventory. So you would have a better understanding at all times than any other company where your product is, how long it takes to get to where it needs to go, and how much product you have at any given time. These are the sort of advantages that you would have over the way things are currently run by operating the system. But there are certain risks associated with trying to operate this type of business. Because this is all new technology and it hasn't been done before, and because you're trying to compete with people who have huge amounts of money and have captured the majority of the market, you are going to be small fish with huge capital demands in the beginning. The beauty of this system, the efficiency of it, comes from the period after the entire structure of the business has been built. Until then, the business is going to operate at a loss for decades. But once all of that stuff is in place, you can do a mass takeover of business on a countrywide scale. Now, there are other risks in that you make a lot of enemies with this, because you are posing as an American-made company, and you are trying to provide products from all different categories, and just instead of narrowing them down by price and by one company versus another company, overseas versus American, all of them are going to be American. All of them are going to be specific to their category, but not have as much variety, but still be able to cover almost all products that are available to sell. So your competitors are going to be Walmart, Home Depot, Amazon, Best Buy, even electricity providers, because once you start putting in these modular nuclear reactors, you are going to be able to be a major player in electricity production. When you look at the lifetime of this system once built, it is a hundreds of billions of dollars a year, or not a year, but hundreds of billions of dollars, well, I guess a year, yeah, hundreds of billions a year worth of revenue can be generated by the system. And less cost to the customer can increase the amount of productivity and demand we have in our country, which can then create these major changes that need to happen for us to fix some of the economic problems we are having. The implementation of this plan will be delicate, and it will have to operate in stages. Like, in the beginning, it will have to operate more like Amazon, and that FedEx and UPS will have to do some of the sorting of your products before you have the ability to do everything yourself. And then before you have storefronts, you must first have your warehouses and your sorting facilities. And the business will have to grow. You won't want to put $150 million into a modular nuclear reactor when you are first starting. You're going to want to do that after you've built most of your infrastructure, just to then reduce your energy costs. So this is not a system that will basically be put together overnight, because there are not investors out there who are willing to put in the tens of billions of dollars it will take to build this system. But once this system is built, by whomever, and by using whatever technology, it will become a new standard, a new status quo for the way we operate logistics and distribute electricity. Because you're operating as a nodular system that is also an electricity provider, you cut down a lot of the resistance in pushing power down the lines from long distances. We have a lot of energy loss in our grid because of the way it's run. But that comes from not being able to put the electricity creating facilities near where the energy is actually demanded. By creating a modular system that creates a web that covers the entire United States, you then give people closer access to cleaner electricity and cheaper product that can be delivered to your door within a 24-hour period. And that would be huge. And also give a company that has an ideology and a mindset a voice that could then create massive change for everyone and not just the company. And by incorporating a mindset that these are not the financial needs of the company, but the financial needs of every person involved in the system, which would be every single individual in America. Or if this business was grown to be a worldwide thing, because you would just have to add nodes and add trucks and add battery banks and add solar panels and modular reactors. This entire thing could grow to become a standard for how humans move product around the globe. And this idea is not something that has an end game that's definable. Its only purpose is to grow and become more efficient and faster and incorporate newer and newer technology, and ultimately it could create a structure which could be a platform behind bringing all product and services to people and look more and more like a central organizational structure behind all goods and services in a more efficient way, in a way that's coming from a mindset of for the people rather than for the business entity, and focuses more on sustainability and reliability and efficiency than profit maximization. So this is the idea I have, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope one day that I can be able to build it. Thank you for listening.